Turn off RGBIC Pro.
Okay.
That was pretty instant too. So obviously there's a clear winner here on which one's brighter. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today's video we have the Govee RGBIC Pro. We're going to see what this is about. Obviously this does have the Amazon and Google Assistant, so they work with both of them. This also has a gel coating. I'll try to answer as many questions as possible within this video. These also have brighter beads than normal RGBIC. On the right side of the box, you just have some information. So the colorful lighting, DIY mode, music mode, segment control, set timers, safe to use. On the back of the box, you just have some specifications. Model number H619A, size 16.4 feet. They do have up to 65 feet, 24 volts, 1 amp, 24 watts of power. Let's get straight into it. All right, so you're greeted with the like it, share it card. If you like the product, you can leave a review. If you don't like it, you can contact them. On the back of the pamphlet, you do have a Govee Home app. That's the name of it, Govee Home, or you can also scan this. Then right here, you have a user manual on how to set them up. Very, very simple. I'll get into this video as well, how to set them up, so you don't have to read. So here are the strips. I haven't seen gel coating on Govee strips in a while. This looks really, really nice. So obviously the beads look really clean. They have the chips in there. All right. And then underneath this, you have your AC adapter, Govee branded. The other end of the strips has the control panel, which is on and off, change color and music mode. This does have a microphone on the right side, as well as a 3M adhesive on the back to stick on any surface. In here, you also have some 3M brackets and some screws. You can use one or the other or both, or you don't have to use any of them at all. They're optional. Right here, you have an alcohol prep pad to clean down the surface before installing them. I highly recommend doing this so you get better results. That's everything you get. Let's go ahead and set these up. Govee made it very dummy proof. Your AC adapter, just plug it in like so to the control panel, and that's literally it. By the way, if you want to learn how to sync these, so if you have the TV RGBIC strips, if you have one in your bedroom, one under your bed, if you want to sync them all together, I have a video on the iCard on the top right. You can go and see how to sync multiple strips up. All right, let's go ahead and plug these in. All right, there it is. So right now it's on music mode. Wow. So the microphone is right here, and any sound on it will get picked up and sync to music automatically, which is really cool. But on this, you have the on and off switch, change color. We're gonna show you how to set them up on your phone. These are pretty bright though. I'm gonna go and turn off the lights. Yeah, they're very bright. Typical RGBIC though. So first, go ahead and download the Govee Home app, and then you can go ahead and press the plus on top to add a device. And this one, I'm gonna turn this off. So it's categorized. So on top you have RGB strip lights. You go down to RGBIC section right here, and then it was H619. It was H619A, which should be closer to the bottom since it's right here. Pro, and then it'll go ahead and sync. So make sure you have them turned on. All right, and now we're connecting. There we go. So you just tap it, and
H619A.
So if you have your Govee Home app connected to your Amazon or Google Assistant already, it'll automatically connect it. So let's just go ahead and name this RGBIC Pro. So right now we're just connecting to Wi-Fi. All right, and then we can go and turn it on from the app, which is really cool. So that's as bright as they get. That's as dim as they get. Let's do 50%. That's 50%. That seems about close to normal RGBIC. 100% is actually really, really bright. I'll test them side by side to compare them. So you can go ahead and segment them, or you can do multiple different scenes. They have a ton of presets. So you can do rainbow, you have a ripple effect. You have DIY, which I do have my own ones. I also have my own color chase that I made. You can make your own in the DIY section. You can do whatever colors you want and many other stuff in here. Things here. I love Govee Home app. It's super simple. You have tons of DIY settings, more than any other strip on the market. It's very, very amazing. Not even lying. And then you have so many, oh wow, they have a ton of music modes now. So you can change the mic sensitivity here. So if you want it to be not as insane, you can do that. You can change the microphone. So if you want it to be on your phone, as you can see, microphone is right here. You can change the type, so you could do party. So you could do party, dynamic, calm. You could do auto color or choose a specific color. So if you only wanted to do one color, you could do that. You have color wheel to change the color specifically. rhythm. It's just like a beat of a drum. Spectrum. Rolling. You have separation, which is a new one. So I guess it's constantly on, and then when it makes sound, it'll change color. You have hopping. Piano keys. Fountain. Day and night. Sprouting. So that was an insane one. Shiny. So that's really cool. I'm not too sure if it's new modes on this one. It's just a new update. The firmware version is 2.04.06, and you can update that by just tapping on the screen here. All right, so these are the older strips. I did a review and unboxing of these many times. I have a 16.4 foot reel here. I also did cut these, so if you want to see that video, if these are able to be cut. Now, a thing different is that these ones come with a remote. This one doesn't, but they might have one in the future. So I'd say wait if you really want a remote and you want Smart Assistant. I'll do a full comparison in the future. It's going to change the color. So this is what it looks like with all the lights on. You can already tell a huge difference. The gel coating helps it diverse into a full color spectrum. So that means basically it'll shine from left to right even further, make it giving a brighter effect as well. This one, it just looks dim. I'm gonna make sure it's on 100% real quick. So obviously there's a clear winner here on which one's brighter. So that's just a side difference on how bright these are. They're so much brighter. I love the diffusion on them as well. It's not a huge diffusion, but it's way better looking than this one, because these ones are just direct beads and they're not as bright. But these RGBIC Pros are really pro. Like, they're insane. All right, so let's just cycle through the colors real quick. So right here I have a white, I believe. Let's just cycle through these. So this is the red. You can see this is a much richer, darker red. This one looks nicer than this one. I didn't even think that RGBIC could get even better than what it used to be. That's insane. So that's just the colors. You can see them all. They're insane. Even the white is way brighter and actually like a better white. This one is more of like a hue of blue. This one's like an actual white, almost. All right, I apologize for the bad camera angle right now, but we're gonna go to set up these strips. I wasn't gonna set these up at first because I didn't want to just put them up and waste 30 bucks on just a random placement, but we're gonna do it for you guys. And yeah, I said these things are 30 bucks. They go all the way up to $80 for 65 feet, which is crazy expensive, but I honestly think it's worth it. Next time I move or get a bigger room or something, I'm definitely gonna get the Pro model or a newer version by the time they come out with a newer version. So let's go ahead and plug it into power. I already plugged the AC adapter into an older one, but this is what it is. It's so bright even on camera. I'm gonna install it, the microphone facing towards the right side where my base is. And yeah, so I'm gonna get my alcohol prep pad. I also will be using some 3M brackets just to help support it. All right, so the adhesive on this is already pretty good, but it comes with brackets. I like to put them always on the corners or in the middle of areas that need it, just where a lot of weight is usually distributed. So on this area right here on the bottom, I'm gonna put one, and then over there in the middle, I'm gonna put one on both sides since it kind of splits open in there. So we're gonna put one there. They give you a total of 5 of these just in case. All right, and then for this corner part, kind of just bend it at an angle first before you apply pressure. Like once you're getting to a corner, don't bend it immediately. Curve it and then apply pressure on one point. Don't apply pressure on the actual corner. Now that will leave gap and more weight distributed there, but you could just put a bracket. Same thing for this top corner. I'm getting up to this part, then I'll place my pressure point on the other end. Don't press in the middle. And I will put a bracket up here because I know there's going to be weight there. All right, and then we can continue on going on the other side. So we have the strip here. We're going to cut once before this chip. I don't know, because there's no actual copper pins like the RGBIC has every few inches. Yeah, so I think the whole strip, oh, most of it, turned off for a bit. And then this amount of LEDs went dead. They kind of went fully dead, almost. Blue is a little on. So right before this little connector here, should you cut this connector too or just leave it? That's up to you. I don't really recommend cutting it, but for educational purpose, I'm just going to show you what would happen. So at that mark, it got even more dead, as you can see. So RGBIC Pro, do not cut RGBIC Pro. I do not recommend it. I'm going to stop doing it before I have no more left. But I still have a good amount that I still can keep, which is good. As you can see, that's our layout. It all still works, hopefully. I'm just going to go and change colors. Okay, yeah, so everything still works. But for the most part, it's not as accurate as cutting it. So if you do cut them, you'll lose features and it's not as accurate. So I don't recommend it at all, cutting RGBIC Pro, just because of that fact. Because if you want it cut off an inch, it'll turn into a foot, basically. If you cut off a foot, it'll turn into 2 feet. It's just complicated, confusing, so don't cut it. Don't risk it, especially since these are expensive. Let's get into a few more app features. All right, so in here, the music mode, Epilepsy Warning, by the way. There's an edit button right here for each music mode, and you can change the separation on where the music mode goes. You can apply it, so now it's going on the left side, as you can see, or I could do it fully on the right side, and it'll go on the right side. That's really nice. I'm gonna keep it in the middle for now. And you could also pick your own colors right here. You have automatic color themes right there. So many colors there to choose from. I could just do any of them and apply it. You could turn on gradient, so that's even more colors. Within the strip, you have tons of different things, and most of these music modes have the edit page, which means you could do basically similar things to that. Or you can just go into DIY, make your own right here. You can name it, change the icon, group it, counterclockwise, clockwise, and then the different modes. So if I want to do a chasing here and clockwise at almost full speed, I could do that, and then I could just pick some colors. I'm just going to do recommended colors themes, elegant one, I guess. So just choose the scene. I'm just going to pick party, method, gradient, boom. So now it just does a color palette of that color that you picked from, and it'll just cycle through those. So now I can go ahead and apply it, and it'll have a color chase between those colors that I picked from automatically, which is really nice. You can make more obvious color themes as well. You don't have to do just one. I have my own color chase here that I made. And then, like I said before, on how to group these, let's go and add our new one. Okay, you can't choose RGBIC Pro apparently. So you can't mix RGBIC and RGBIC Pro for grouping, which is interesting. Turn off RGBIC Pro.
Okay.
That was pretty instant too. Alright, and that's pretty much all I have for today's video. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, of course, to subscribe for more videos just like this. Also, I just want to really quick show you a side comparison between RGBIC and RGBIC Pro. But if I change this color to like blue, you can tell just a little bit more. From the reach, the red has all the way up to there and more, and the blue, it barely has a hue that goes barely past my monitor. This one reaches way higher, if that makes sense. Not to mention, it has a farther reach going from left to right as well. As you can see, it reaches really far. So that's the difference between both of them. Both of them look still really good. If you want to check one of these out, links are in the description. That's the difference between these two. I will make a full comparison going through all the modes, and any unanswered questions within this video will be in that video, and many other videos on LED strips, specifically RGBIC Pro. So if this helped you, once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.